he was going to get the ball. Now, Ben was upset because they had just turned the ball, Cincinnati just turned the ball over. They're up 10 with 1:09 to go. Cincinnati only has one timeout.
And they're deep in Cincinnati's territory.
Mm-hmm. And so I'm sure Ben is thinking, why don't we just take a knee? Even if they take the timeout, they have no more, we can just run it. But that wasn't what Todd Haley called. And even normally, you don't have audibles in situations like this, Skip, for that very reason. Now, if it's a regular play, and a situation where you're trying to get back, yeah, you might audible it. But you don't have an audible in this situation. Even if this is not true, Skip, and I believe it's more probable that it is, the Steelers got a serious problem on their hands. They need to ask themselves, of all the retired players, why haven't one player come to Ben's defense with this leadership thing? That's the guy that's moving forward that you chose to go with. But everybody that's come out has questioned Ben's leadership. The Rooneys, Kevin Colbert, who's the general manager, and Mike Tomlin. Mike Tomlin, you bear a lot of responsibility. You let this thing get out of hand. You let certain players have certain privileges, and they saw it. And so now this is the mess that you've created. I've never seen anything like this, Skip. I've never seen... I don't care how bad a person, even the devil. People are going to say good thing about it. Man, but when it's cold, the devil, he got a nice place you can go visit. Not one former player, Skip, has said anything positive about Ben Roethlisberger's leadership, be it offense or defense. That should be very, very concerning to the Steelers. And you want people to follow him? And people that was in the locker room that was supposedly following him had problem with his leadership. Okay. So the conclusion is what on your part? I believe what that gentleman said, that Ben handed that ball off, because, Skip, you can't do it. And then watch how he falls. Nobody touched Ben. And Ben fell like he was in a bad Western. So is your conclusion they should have traded Roethlisberger instead of Antonio? No, I'm not saying that. I'm trying to say Ben is not without, Skip. Two things can be true here. Ben Roethlisberger can be an all-time worst leader, and Antonio Brown still handled this situation wrong and deserve to be traded. They don't mean they have to coincide. Well, Ben is a terrible leader, so and Antonio Brown is right. No. So before I answer Jenny's question, I want to point out Josh Harris played all of 3 games that year for the Steelers, and that was it. So we'll just miss it? No, I'm just saying, let's keep it in perspective. Okay. He carried the ball late in the season 18 times for a grand total of 41 yards. Okay. So I don't know how much credibility we should underline his tweet with. Like, does he qualify? Was he there long enough to draw this conclusion? I don't know, because then he didn't even play in the league after that. He played in Canada for a while, and I think he's out of football, but I'm not sure. I think he's just out of football. So are we going to dismiss Hines Ward, Emmanuel Sanders, James Harrison? Dismiss them, for sure. Because they said the very same thing about Ben. Okay, so to your point, does Ben have a lot of diva in him? Does he have some bad guy in him? Yes, he does. Do we know for a fact that he nearly killed himself and hurt his football team by riding a motorcycle without a helmet on and went over somebody's hood? Yes. Right? We know that. Do we know that he was twice at least accused of sexual assault, right? He had 2 sexual assault allegations, and in 2010, he was suspended for 4 games. Correct. Okay? So we know that for a fact. We also know for a fact last year he was 3rd in the NFL in QBR, which is pretty great. He led the league in passing last year. He has obviously 3 Super Bowl appearances, 2 wins, 6 Pro Bowls, and in the playoffs, his 13 all-time wins make him 6th most among quarterbacks, 6th most wins in the playoffs. So that's pretty great. So it boils down to this. When you talk about problem players, is Ben a problem player? You could certainly put him in that category, but would you rather have Ben or AB? I'd take Ben. Ben or Le'Veon? I'd take Ben just because of the position he plays. That's not the issue. Okay. See, because here's the thing, and we need to stop this. It's like the greater the player is, the less like we're willing to believe anything someone says about that player. Ben Roethlisberger said he and Antonio Brown had a great relationship. Is that the truth, or was that a lie, Skip?
That's a lie.
Well, I don't know enough to know, actually. I don't know. I wasn't there.
AB said he wanted out.
Okay.
Okay, he said he and Todd Haley had a great relationship. Was that the truth or is that a lie? That's a lie because we saw him consistently throw Todd Haley under the bus. You see, what happens is that the greater the player is, the less likely we are to believe anything that's said bad about him. It doesn't matter if it's Tom Brady. It doesn't believe if it's Michael Jordan, if it's Peyton Manning. If you're great, oh, he can't be that. Bull jive.
Okay. Do I think there's a chance that he just vetoed that play in the huddle and went so far as to risk losing the football game? Because I don't know if they score on the next play, right. Cincinnati.
Or they scoop and score.
I don't know.
Back there.
I don't know.
Right.
Right? And the onside kick, I don't know, it's 27-17.
But why would Ben, this fullback, if you look at the fullback, Skip, the fullback, he doesn't even make a pocket to get the ball.
It doesn't look good unless, I'm just being objective here. Is it possible Ben forgot the play or mixed it up where thought he was just going to hand to the fullback? Was that the play that was called?
No.
Okay, well, I don't know.
So now we go as far as...
Is it possible the fullback didn't get the right call? I don't know.
All I know is that the running back was thinking he was going to get the ball because if he didn't... And then Ben stumbled down. I thought Ben was in a bad Western. And Jenny, you saw how he stumbled. I like, come on, Ben.
Yeah, it wasn't great.
Okay.
But Skip, even if it's not true, it's still a bad look because you got another player. Although this gentleman's only there 3 days, how long do you have to be around? 3 games. So that means he was there at least 3 weeks. Yep. How long do you have to be around?
He was on the practice squad all year, so he would be around.
Right.
Okay.
So how long must I be around someone before I get the vibe? You don't have to be around a person very long before you realize. You see how they interact with other players. You see how they talk to other people. You get a real indication of who and what that person is about. I just want to know why hasn't anyone come to... Skip, there have been players that will come, like you said, Tom Brady, off camera, on camera, no one says anything.
They don't.
Peyton Manning, nobody says anything. I just want to know.
Well, I don't know. Peyton Manning had a few things.
Well, he got into it with Jeff Saturday on the sideline.
Yeah.
And he told him he had to bleep up.
But Peyton went after his... What was the offensive line?
Well, he went up with an idiot kicker because
that was a whole nother thing.
But the kicker called him out.
Yeah.
And he said, I'm over here throwing a touchdown to Jerry Rice, and I got to respond to some idiot
Just
kicker.
for the record, but go ahead.
But let's just remove all that. I just want to know why.